Defendants charged in the Georgia election interference case are now starting to get pretty creative in trying to fundraise to pay for their legal defense. These are the co-conspirators who, along with Donald Trump, are facing charges for their election interference or alleged election interference. This is the case brought forward by the Fulton County, Georgia prosecutor, Fani Willis. Now, nearly all of the 18 defendants in the case are counting on donations to help with their legal fees. And the case is likely going to take months, if not years, to fully resolve. And that includes, of course, the former president himself, Donald Trump. This image shows you who all of the co-conspirators are as well. And many of these people are not big names. They don't have huge followings. And this is going to be an incredibly expensive case to defend themselves in. Now, Trump, according to the New York Times, has often rebuffed requests for financial help from co-defendants in other cases against him. In the Georgia case, the amount of money the other defendants are able to raise could actually determine whether they choose to fight their charges or take plea deals, which should be a giant concern for Donald Trump. If these co-conspirators feel that they're not going to be able to defend themselves due to a lack of resources and due to a lack of help from Donald Trump himself, they're far more likely to take a plea deal and turn on Trump. Now, one of those co-defendants is Stephen C. Lee, who is an Illinois pastor who actually attempted to pressure an election worker in Georgia to essentially lie and confess to committing election fraud. Now, he's raising his funds by partnering with a Trump honey company. I mean, I gotta say, I need a bottle of that. Like, how enterprising.
Okay, this is my favorite story of the day because finally we've got a little bit of comic relief, okay? I mean, and this story is chock full of it. You don't miss any of it, okay? So then the guys say in on their website with the MAGA honey, quote, you may like or dislike the bottle design, but it's filled with healthy, pure, raw honey. Why? Do you think that people who hate Donald Trump are gonna buy it? And you're like, no, it's okay. Don't worry that it's Donald Trump and you hate Donald Trump. It's good honey.
They're telling on themselves. They're like, oh God, we hate this. We hate this design.
Right.
But the stuff inside's really good. You might like it.
Yeah, but we can get honey anywhere. Okay, so like, why do we need to get it from Trump's dumb head? Although there is some logic to that orange guy, I mean, on a honey bottle, there's some logic. So Cheese Bro's trying to, I'll let Anna do the rest.
No, there's so much more, Jake.
Can I tell the Cheese Bro one?
Maybe, if you're good. Okay.
I don't know that I am, I don't know.
You've been very bad, so no. Okay. But no, okay, but let me finish with the honey story because there's an important detail to get to. So first off, the bottle of honey costs $20. That does not include the cost of shipping, okay? But there's an added layer, guys, because simply buying the honey does not help Stephen Lee out. You have to include a promo code, so a portion of the proceeds goes to his legal defense.
This isn't even about the legal defense.
So you have to use the promo code Chaplain. And if you do, a large amount of the proceeds will be donated to his legal defense. So simply buying the honey isn't good.
And I bet that half the people misspell Chaplain and they don't give it to him.
It's just, what a disaster. So let's take a look at that graphic and it'll show you what the total cost is. So with shipping, it's nearly $26. And yeah, you gotta put the Chaplain in there. It's not a discount, so you will not be discounted when you include the promo code. The promo code is just to ensure that a portion of it goes to Stephen Lee.
Yeah. So Lee also has a benefactor though. They gave him $3,500. You know who it is? Silk. From Diamond and Silk. Diamond passed away. I believe it was Diamond who passed away, and Silk gave him $3,500. So he's rolling in the money. But wait till you get to Cheese Bro. So first of all, other than having the best name of all the MAGA guys, Cheese Bro decided that he's going to do one of these fundraisers online because that's what they're all doing.
Yeah,
right?
He's selling wheels of cheese, obviously.
Yeah, if he sold like wheels of cheese and called them Cheese Bros,
respect.
Exactly. And game recognizes game. Got it. Okay. Instead, he does a thing of like, I'm buried under a mountain of legal bills. Please help. Except he includes a picture of himself smiling on a big beach. Cheese bruh. what are you doing? Okay, you know how much he raised? $20. Who's gonna give to that? $20, that's all he raised. $20. Because who's gonna give to that guy? Oh, the poor guy's suffering, having the time of his life in Hawaii or Miami or wherever he is. I've never seen cheese bruh more than that. But I've got a lot more, but I'm gonna let Anna get back to it because there's two more things here that are hilarious.
So Ken Chesebro is having a tough time raising money, but others have had an easier time raising money. It might have to do with their name recognition. So John Eastman, for instance, has raised over $500,000, $547,000 to be exact, using the same platform that Chesebro is failing in. But then there's also another defendant, Harrison Floyd, who raised $328,000, and I don't think that he has much name recognition. So I don't know how he managed to raise more money than Chesebro did. Chesebro, understandably, has a much more memorable name. But as the financial burden becomes bigger, it's actually starting to weigh on the defendants, causing them to break. So Scott Hall, who's a Georgia bail bondsman, has already agreed to cooperate with the prosecution. He's one of the co-conspirators, he's facing charges. Hall, who was involved in a breach of voting software and data at a rural Georgia elections office after Trump's defeat, was originally charged with 7 felonies. He pleaded guilty last month to 5 misdemeanor charges and was sentenced to 5 years probation. You all know what a plea deal means. Plea deal means he's gonna give up some info. So if Trump is concerned about this trial, and I think he should be, I don't know if he's gonna get out of it, but if he wants to avoid additional co-conspirators flipping on him, he should maybe help him out. But I don't think he's smart enough to realize that, because he's not helping them out. This has been going on for months now, and he just continues fundraising for himself. So we'll see how it plays out for him.
Yeah, so important fact and a fun fact left. So first, Trump has a PAC called Save America. And if you think that that PAC is going to save America, that's hilarious. No, it's for Save Trump. And it's for his legal defense. And he's already spent $816,000 on the last lawyer who also quit. All his lawyers quit because usually he doesn't pay them, but in this case he did pay those guys. It's also because he asked them to lie, he asked them to commit criminal acts, and lawyers can't do that unless they're named Rudy Giuliani, which I'm gonna get to in a second. That's one of the fun ones. So Trump has plenty of money. He has a giant amount of money in that PAC. He's just choosing not to share it with the others in his usual cheap and criminal ways. So now the interesting fact, an important one, is Meadows, on the other hand, he is sharing with in a roundabout way, because Mark Meadows was his last chief of staff and he knows exactly what happened on January 6th. And the great mystery of all of this is Mark Meadows gonna flip? Because it's one thing when rando Scott Hall flips, how much does a Georgia bail bondsman know? A little bit, but Mark Meadows and Rudy Giuliani are the two big fish. And so maybe Rudy doesn't know as much, and that's why Trump keeps treating him like Igor, right? But Meadows, he definitely knows a lot. So Meadows is getting paid $560,000 a year by the Conservative Partnership Institute. It's a policy group. So Mark Meadows is in there doing like, oh, what other policy do you think? What do you think we should do on paid family leave? No, that's just a way of funneling $560,000 to Mark Meadows for doing nothing but being a good boy. And let me see where they got the money. Oh, the Conservative Partnership got $1 million from Save America PAC, Trump's PAC. Oh, so that's your Be a Good Boy fund. So apparently it is going to someone. It's going to his chief of staff, but the Chesebros of the world are left to fend for themselves. So now Giuliani, 3 criminal investigations, 10 civil suits, 2 disbarment things, and he's got all these bills because he was spending like a drunk sailor for the last couple of decades, apparently, according to all the insiders. And they say one of his smallest bills that he doesn't have the money to pay is a $57,000 phone bill. Bruh.
Who has a phone bill?
What? Who are you calling? And on what plan? He must have the world's worst plan. You couldn't figure out unlimited calls? Or are you calling like foreign governments 24/7?
Or mail order brides.
I don't know what it is.
Like there's something going on.
But $57,000 phone bill? From which decade?
He still has one of those like old school cell phone plans where it costs like 50 cents every time you text message.
Probably.
And like 75 cents every time you receive a text message.
Right.
Remember those days?
Oh my God, when I used, in the old days when you called, you'd always be like, oh, it's not a local call, I gotta get off as soon as I can. Meanwhile, Rudy falls asleep on the line, he's still got one of those old plans. And they say this is his smallest bill. $57,000 phone bill.
That's insane.
So, and Trump's like, no.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. We really appreciate it, guys. And we appreciate it if you become members because that allows us to be independent, honest, progressive, all the things that you don't get from corporate media. And all of that is because of you guys. Hit the join button below and become one of us. Become a Young Turk.